All right, this is Tim Figley with YSN with a host of Bulldogs, something we like to say when there's a tackle. A host of Bulldogs on the tackle. But I'm going to ask you to share who you are, your name, your position, your age, and what you do here on the team. So let's get started with Shane.
Shane Richardson, senior, middle linebacker, tight end.
All right.
RJ May, I'm a wide receiver, DB, and I'm a freshman.
Yep, freshman.
Avery Klingersmith, I'm a sophomore, I'm a tight end and a middle linebacker.
All right.
Anthony Lehman,
All right. What position?
tackle.
Tackle?
And
All right.
nose guard.
All right, so we have a freshman, we have a sophomore, we have a junior, and we have a senior here, right? I know Shane told me he loves watching YSN because he loves hearing his name called. But tell us a little bit about what it's been like from the beginning of practice back in the summer till now. Have you guys improved? We'll start with you, Shane. What are you feeling right now as you're building some momentum here in Game 7?
Well, yeah, beginning of the season, a lot of weight room.
Okay?
Now, moving out of it more, just on the field, get working every day.
Yeah, yeah. So you're a senior. What's it like being a senior with this batch here?
It's nice. It's nice having young guys to come here work hard with me. And then juniors, they've always been with me really because I started playing sophomore year. So.
Okay. All right. So is there any sort of leadership, any sort of difference from the time you're a sophomore to where you're at right now?
Yeah, it's been a big difference. Juniors are taking a big role
Okay.
in what we've been doing here.
Okay. So we got a freshman here, RJ May, right? So my first impression of RJ May was Newton Falls, there's a kickoff. Freshman, I wondered what the freshman was doing back, getting the kickoff for the first time. Takes the ball, goes from one end of the field to the next for your first touchdown of your high school career on a Friday night. Tell me about how that felt.
It was really like an out-of-body experience. It was really like, I don't know, I picked up the ball, I fumbled the kick, picked up the ball, and I just see a bunch of green grass, and it just opened up for me, you know. I mean, once I got into open space, I knew I was going. I mean, no one was catching me, so it was just fun to get into the end zone and celebrate with my team.
Yeah, there it was. So you transitioned, you had a pretty good 8th grade year, played basketball and track. How's track been able to help you? Because one of the things, it's a signature for you is really your speed, right?
Mm-hmm. So track, it really helps me with just my breakaway speed, my top speed. You know, it helps me really everywhere on the field, making cuts, doing whatever. It really just helps you get faster. It makes such leaps and bounds in your speed and athleticism. You know, we have a couple guys who ran track last year, and you can really see the difference from last year football season to this year football season. So yeah. Yeah,
and it's not every day that someone goes from 8th grade to a freshman and really gets to contribute. I mean, they might play a little bit, but they don't oftentimes get to contribute. You've been able to contribute to the team throughout the year. What's been that transition like, going from 8th grade to a freshman? Has it been harder? I mean, kids are a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. How's it been different for you, and how have you had to make adjustments?
It's really just been a learning experience. You know, like 8th grade, it was just my guys' competition, you know, but now I'm going against kids who 17, 18 years old. They're just a lot older, a lot more mature. It's just the going out confident, not scared. You can't fear anybody. You gotta just go out and play your game.
Play fearless. And we've seen you do that all year. Avery, tell us a little bit about, I mean, we call your name on offense, we call your name on defense. Tell us about your year and what you've been doing, you know, to really get some contribution in there and get more playing time and make a bigger impact on the field.
So I ran track, which made me a lot faster, which made me better at more positions. They needed more speed, so I was able to sub in that H-back this year so far because I've gone a little faster, stronger, and everything.
Yeah.
Defensive-wise, it also helped a lot because I was able to beat linemen off the ball.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just other sports help with that.
Yeah. Well, when you're out there, when you're playing, you've been playing some linebacker, defensive end.
Yes, sir.
What all have you been playing?
Defense so far, I've played a tiny bit in nose at the beginning of the year, but I've mainly been playing D end, and this week I've switched linebacker.
Okay, I know they've been moving you around a little bit. So, okay. And then Anthony, for you, you're tackle on one side, tackle on the other side.
Yeah.
Tell us about the difference between last year, this year for you, where the improvements been. What do you see with not just you, but the line as a whole?
Well, definitely wrestling and
Okay.
hitting the weight room hard really helps playing the line, get your
Okay.
hand fighting moving, and get you quick
Okay.
on your feet. And then as a line as a whole, we got a lot more experience this year,
Yeah.
a lot more stronger guys again. Hit
Definitely.
the weight room hard in the off season.
Definitely. Yeah, so track, weight room, all these things off season are making a difference for you. And you're seeing that now with your team's improvements. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Tell us about last game. You know, you finally got that victory. What was that like for you? We'll start on this end, move our way down.
It was really just a relief. We've been chasing it for so long, and actually seeing that scoreboard with us on top,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Felt pretty good.
Yeah.
And Avery, for you, you know, you keep working. What keeps you driven week after week? Let's say you were close, then you didn't get it. This happens, that happens. What keeps you driven each week to keep going until you get that done?
Probably what keeps me driven is the way our coach helps us
Okay.
motivate for the games and stuff. And we're also all tired of losing. We want wins. And this week we want that trophy.
Yeah. So RJ, for you, you know, we already discussed you had that big play early in the year, some individual great plays. Then there was a really tough game down in Southern. Getting hit, getting beat up, that sort of thing. Then you come back and you guys have a great game. You have an interception, touchdown, that sort of thing. What is it about bouncing back? How do you get over having a game where you get beat up a little bit or you make mistakes to keep your eyes focused on the next game or the next play so that you can get focused on overcoming those tough times?
You know, I mean, we really, that week, we had a really great week of practice, I think.
Okay.
I mean, it was just, we worked hard all week. We knew that the Wellsville team we just played, they couldn't hang with us, really. We just knew that we were a better team than them, and it showed Friday night.
Yeah. Shane, when you're coming into that game, you're expected to win, but then they're playing a pretty good game early, right? Wells was playing pretty good. What is it, you know, as a senior, what are you saying to people? What are you doing that's keeping your guys focused, feeling like, hey, all right, we can get that next edge? What are you doing to help everybody get the edge when the game is close?
Communicating on the field is a really big part. If we didn't communicate, like Anthony had a bad play, I can
Okay.
get blocked.
Okay.
But communicating on the field is a really big part of this team this year because we haven't done it in past years. So
And for the audience, what does that actually look like? I mean, we can hear that, but how's that going? Is it between plays? Is it during plays? I mean, when people are watching the game, they don't always know what's going on that you've seen and feel. So tell us a little bit about that communication.
mostly it's between plays.
Between plays.
Yeah, whether if they're pulling,
Okay.
whether I see certain keys.
Okay. So you see the team's doing something different. You're telling him, here's what they're doing, so that he has an edge that he wouldn't have had without that information. Okay. What else communication-wise, so that we know how you're communicating, how that's helping your team improve?
Really just echoing stuff, echoing our calls,
Okay.
calling out their plays.
Okay.
Just watching film also helps that, so we know what they're coming at us with.
Yeah. So you're up front, you're way in the back, you're kind of in the middle, you're maybe on the side, right? Where does that interaction come in? You know, whether on defense or something like that.
It's really just like we see how their linemen are playing and they see how their backers are playing, so we
Yeah.
can just bounce information off of them. If their linemen are, you know, less steady on their hands, they can let us know. If they're pulling harder or slower,
Yeah.
any information helps.
And what kind of information are you looking for? Playing way in the back.
Really, yeah. I mean, we're playing way in the back. You can see everything that happens up front. You can see. So I mean, it's really just, you know, you can see what the linemen are doing. You can see like whether how the quarterback is looking, and that also helps with me talking to my corners and stuff, and talking to the other safety Noah. It really helps, you know, because I can see like, oh, like maybe this quarterback, he's just looking one way and throwing that way the whole game. So I can say, hey, he's whatever way
That's his
whatever way his shoulders go, that's where he's going.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we opened up, we talked about what got you here this year in all the off-season prep. And then we talked about last game, Wellsville, and how you were resilient, overcame, won that game. Now let's talk about this coming game. What does it mean when you know you're playing a rival, when you know you're already playing better, when you know they've had some good games also. They beat some teams. I think they beat Lisbon, right? So they beat some teams where you were close with that Lisbon game, then they pulled away the second half. What are you thinking about this week? How's it a little bit different for you on rivalry week? Let's start with Avery.
I think we need to put them 4 quarters because we are sometimes a little slow at the beginning or slow at the end, and that's why Lisbon was able to come back because we weren't playing hard enough.
What do you need to do to play 4 quarters against Columbiana?
I don't know what we would need to do, but I think a lot of it is because they're a rival.
Okay.
And it's just, it gives you that kind of mentality that
Added motivation.
You just need to hit them. All 4 quarters.
Yeah, and as a senior, what are you thinking about this week, and what are you conveying to the locker room?
I'm just trying to give everybody some passion in this locker room. We need to play some hard this week. If we do that, I think it's a dub.
Okay. All right. How about you, Anthony? Rivalry week.
You got to stay really focused at practice. Don't let school and outside stuff distract you. This is the week where you really need to get rid of all your mental clutter and focus in.
Yeah. RJ, coming in again, being a freshman, first time you're ever going to play them on a Friday night. Rivalry. Of course, you grew up. You had uncles that played against them. Your grandpa played against them. I mean, tell us a little bit about rivalry for you when you think about it. What's going on in the locker room? What's the chatter amongst each other?
Yeah, I've watched them play all the Friday nights. I've watched all these teams. It's really just the hatred we have for them. I mean, it's just, and like you said, it's like a generational thing.
Yeah.
You know, my grandpa doesn't like them. My uncles don't like them. No one likes them here. We really just got to come out and we just got to put some pads on some red jerseys this week.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of brown.
And so, last question I'll have, I want you to all just share with the people that might be watching this, that really love watching you on Friday nights. What do they need to know from you? What do you want them to know? What do you want them to feel and know about you, your team, and what you're trying to accomplish here?
And this is a different team from last year, and it's not going to be the same result as last year against Columbiana.
Yeah, good. How about you, Avery? What's everybody need to know from you guys?
They need to know that we're going to come out. We're going to hit Columbiana. We didn't hit them hard enough last year. We need to hit them harder this year.
Yep. And just from a big picture perspective, what's everybody need to know about your team from your vantage point?
They just need to know that, like Anthony said, we aren't the team we were last year. You know, we got a lot more skill. We got a lot more linemen. You know, we're a lot stronger, faster than we were. We are better than this team.
Okay. How about you, Sheen?
I'm just ready.
You're ready.
I know my guys are ready too.
Okay. So we want to invite everybody to come out. We have 3 more big games this year here at East Palestine. These boys are playing hard. They're playing fast. They're playing tough. They're playing with passion, right? With heart. They're fun to watch. Anybody that comes out and watches the games having a great time. So we want to invite everybody to watch. If you're watching from afar, join us on YSN. Come see these guys play. Check them out. We're excited for these W's they're getting. We're excited for the games that are close and that are just fun to call because it's a great game. So we want to invite everybody out. Join us and go Bulldogs. All right? Great. Good job, guys. That was fun. You guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
Excellent, fellas.
Yeah.
Well done. Very, very